Let's let the Facebook Live get going. Okay. Hey everybody, hope you're all having a wonderful week. It has been super cold here. We've got about 6 inches of snow, but I think more to come. So it's definitely way colder than I would like to be dealing with, but such as life in Chicagoland, we have to expect it. So I want to talk to you today about thinking about your career search and not getting overwhelmed. I think it's pretty easy for anyone who has recently started the job search, and it feels very overwhelming. Like, where do I begin? What should I focus on? What should I do? And I like them to think about it from smaller chunks of work and not get so, I guess, overwhelmed with the thought that they have to do everything, right? We can't do everything at once anyway. So if you can start to narrow down the things that you need to do and focus on those first and start to take action on those, then you can get those things checked off the list and then move to the next things. So let's not try to do everything at once. I want people to think about this almost like a project or its own set of work that you have to do, because there is work involved. I wish I could make it easy and just wave a magic wand and boom, here's all the job leads with all the interviews scheduled and everything's magical and it just happens. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. So you are going to have to think about what kinds of roles you want, what kinds of industries you want to work for, the things that you really want to do, the things that are needs for you, the things that are wants, the things that you're willing to walk away from. Because the more clarity you have for yourself, the more other people can help you. And in the guides, I have a lot of different resources. If you are new to the group and you haven't checked out the guides yet, please do so. There are resources there for interviews, resumes, LinkedIn, networking briefs, personal brand briefs. There's I think it's a 15-minute or so video on creating the brand for the role that you want. So leverage those resources. They're there for you guys to use, and I want you to be able to use them and start to move forward on your job search. So try not to be overwhelmed by it. Try to think about what are the first things I have to do and prioritize. The other piece, though, to start earlier rather than later, is networking. You're going to have to make sure that your network is pretty strong, and if you're not working on a network all the time, that's an opportunity area. Try to always look at your network and say, who are the people that I've met with most recently? Who are the next set of people that I should meet with next? And focus on meeting with them, reconnecting with them, listening to what challenges they have, ways that you can add value to them, because you don't want to start a job search and reach out to every person that you know and you haven't talked to them in 5 years. Nobody who is going to actually help you wants to be that person, right, that someone just reached out to for the first time in 5 years. They're probably not going to help you. They haven't heard from you in 5 years, and so they know you're just coming to ask for help. So always be working your network. Always try to have warm leads of people that you can connect with and reach out to and say, hey, I'm starting to look. I'm starting to explore this. Do you have anybody that you think I should talk to who might be able to help me with a job in this space or this industry or this company? This is what the whole 6 degrees of separation is all about. Somebody knows somebody who knows somebody. And the more clear you are with what you want, and that's where that network brief can be helpful, so take a look at that. The more clear you are, you can pass that network brief out to friends, family, whoever, and they can pass that to people that they know on your behalf. What we're trying to do is create like this big web of people that are helping you outside of just the time that you have to help yourself. So those are the two areas that I would ask you to start with, is gain clarity on what it is you think you might want to do, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Look at job roles, look at the things that you want to do, the things that interest you, things you have passion for. If that's not a role that has a defined job title, do something close to it, but something that helps people understand what you're looking for. And then secondly, work on your network, either internally to the company that you're with now, if you're leaving soon, or externally in the market, people that you already have in your network, but also look at those people that you haven't connected with in a while and find a way to reconnect with them. because if you're going to need them in the next 3 to 6 months, you want to make sure that they have heard from you recently and it's not a surprise. Don't be afraid to do an informational interview with somebody and say, hey, I'd just love to learn more about what you do, your company, how you got this role, the experiences that you had. And they don't have to know that you're searching for a job right now. They can just be people that you're meeting with, because maybe they can reconnect you with someone else in their network, or someone else that you haven't been connected with in your network alone. So don't be afraid to do that, right? To have those conversations. You're just exploring. You're just looking for information, trying to understand what's available, what's out there. And if they say, you know what, I have a role that I think might be a good fit, if you know somebody, and if that's a role that's interesting to you, don't be afraid to say, hey, you know what, I'm actually exploring a little bit more than I would, want to do. I don't know. I'm not saying this very well right now. Sorry, I'm getting tired. I'm actually interested in looking at other jobs. So I'm not officially looking, I'm kind of passively looking, but I would be interested in having a conversation about that job. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. But if you know somebody else who's a better fit for it, don't be afraid to give that person a name if you really feel like that person's a good fit. Because remember, you're extending your credibility to this person's name that you're giving. So you want to make sure it's somebody that you think would really add value to that company. Because if it's just somebody who's just a name that you know and they're not really going to be helpful and they're not going to be a good fit, that can reflect on you too. So just a word of caution there. I hope that helps. I hope you're starting to think about this in a bigger way. Create a spreadsheet, get things together, get things organized, the things that you have to do, keep track of the jobs that you've applied to, keep track of the thank you notes that you've sent or haven't sent, the interviews that you've had, follow-ups, the connections, the people's names, the emails. It does really become a project that you have to manage, but the more organized that you are on it, the simpler it will be to keep track of everything and to really make sure that you're getting in front of the right people. I hope you have a great night, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks.